The famous line from The Tale of Two Cities was the best of times is the worst of times. We accomplished the incomprehensible. We took Oakland out of their zone, and then we decided to not do what we asked them to do. So I'm really, really excited at this group and how they played. They played beautiful offensive basketball, and by and large, they played very well defensively. We just got beat on the boards. We were one rebound away from beating a very good team. And, we got to learn how to win. Got to learn how to win, and that's not just on them, that's on the bench as well. So, but those kids battled, and, we don't have our size with Jan playing, and we don't have some of our toughness with Rudy, but that doesn't matter. We're in perfect position to win this game, and we didn't do it. We're up 14 with 9:27 to go. You have to win that game. And a big part of my frustration was we've talked all year, and specifically this week and then at halftime, about milking the clock. The clock runs for the last 2 minutes without the shot clock. Shorten the game. And we had a couple guys that they're just excited, they're just young and excited. They grab the ball and they throw it in. And that's 5-10 seconds, End of the first half, we have a specific plan for when it's more than 30 seconds, and we didn't execute it. And because of it, we give up a three-point shot, which, if we're going to go at the end of shot clock, it has to go as the shot clock expires, not a second before. We practice it. But we didn't, and we chose to go a little bit early, and JJ missed a shot I thought he got fouled on, and then we give up a three. And last I checked, we lost by 3 points. So, we had to move some big things in order to get competitive in the league. Now it's the margins. And so we got us beat at Youngstown both times in this one. So, and then, some of that's on me. We intentionally violated on the first free throw. We knew they were trying to miss. Probably could have just called a timeout. Maybe put Roe in, to get some extra size. But, that's just, we either get the rebound and win the game or we don't and go to overtime. And that's what happened. So, it's the best of times and the worst of times.
Doug, how do you not let, when you have a 12-point lead, like you said, 6:15 left in regulation, how do you not let that turn into an overtime loss?
Shit. If I had the answer, we'd win by more, I think the frustrating part was that they went man to man, and our smartest players, everybody had a hand in it. I had a hand in it, they had a hand in it. But we just have to be smarter collectively as a group. It's really hard to beat a team twice, and that's what we had to do. But I thought we were right there. We just couldn't get a stop in overtime. I don't know. Have to rebound, we played in so many ways. We did everything we wanted to do. We didn't turn the basketball over. We got 32, probably 30 or 29 good looks on three, We have a 5-second play with when they tie the game up. We choose to not run it. It's really hard. That was that. But look, that's what young teams do. That's what young coaches do. So you either figure it out and you start to win these games, or you don't, and you forever lose these games. So I wish I had the answer. But it's really hard to feel like you have one and then kind of feel like you give it away and then have to do it again. Have to do it again.
What did you want to see happen when you guys got the ball 29 seconds, I believe, left in OT and you're down one? Jeremiah got it down low.
No, what happened was we run a play that's specifically designed to get Ben a backdoor. And Jeremiah made the read, which is the normal read defensively, but it's not the play. So they don't play man-to-man, right? 0 possessions all year. So they don't have great man-to-man feel. So we ran a backdoor play, and Jeremiah cut, which was his read on the screen, which, again, any other time, that's the right play. Not this one. Stay out of the way, because he cut, his man was there when Ben caught the ball, and then Ben passed to him, and he didn't really have anywhere to go, and he was handcuffed. So, but what are you going to do, right? You got Marcus Hall playing 41 minutes, Ben Tweedy 37, Jeremiah Johnson 30. You know, they did so many good things. So many good things. That was just not among them.
Doug, there was a game earlier this year against Youngstown. That was a tough loss. And it was almost as if Youngstown was beat us twice. Later, a few days later. This was a tough loss, and you got Oakland again on Tuesday. How do you not lose this game twice?
I can only hope. I mean, just so people understand, Preston Rudiger has a torn oblique. It is torn. He shouldn't be playing basketball. He'll play Tuesday. I believe Yonatan will play Tuesday. He's been suffering. He just hasn't felt right since having a concussion. So we just said, hey, let's just not play today. We don't want to risk anything. Let's just make you feel right. I can only hope that their experience, the age of Yonatan, the experience of Rudy, shows great leadership. Plus, I think they're going to have plenty of juice, whereas Oakland just played two hard-fought games. And, you know, we know what we have to do to beat this team. You know, they'll shoot it better. They were 9 of 22, which is actually pretty good. They'll shoot it better at home. You know, those guys come flying off shooting threes. But, I mean, it's the same game. Like, we just – I get to answer your question, I don't know, man. Like, we'll do everything we can. But I think it's different because we play them again than playing IUI, which, I don't know, that game, I thought we, in addition to having no juice, we kind of looked arrogant, like, oh, they're IUI. And then they dotted us for 10 threes in the first half. So this is an incredibly resilient group. You know, I mean, they withstood a 22-game losing streak. Like, losing one game on senior night that you have in hand at home sucks, but it is not 22 in a row. So I think they've grown up a lot, and we'll see if they've grown up since that. Last thing, first, congratulate Kayla. That was, you want to talk, how about 2 overtime games? Just sitting there, it's like, oh, that's a lot of basketball. But what Kayla's done, it's nothing short of spectacular. You know, they suffered some injuries, and, you know, so everything goes according to plan. Then you suffer injuries, when you start getting it going, and that team's just a machine, and their ability to, they did the opposite of us, right? They're down 6, come back, force overtime, win the game. So I think that's what experience does, and I hope we all learn from this, you know. Secondly, you know, it's been a hard week at GB with the passing of a young man who has such a bright future. So it's really important for us to take a minute and understand that losing a game stinks. There's nothing good about it. I won't sleep until we play Oakland, and then I probably won't sleep after the Oakland game, right? But this is such an incredible place. We have such a great athletic department that, you know, we're just all going to wrap our arms around the swimming team and everybody close, and make it a point that we're kind of a united athletic department. It's really, really cool, and I'm so proud to coach Ryan Wade. You know, 7 points, 3 assists, but the big thing is, it's like I said out there, I mean, that kid's just a stud human being, you know, stud. And I didn't give him a scholarship, but he couldn't quit. He didn't quit. I benched him after St. Thomas game. He didn't quit. And he just waited for his turn. And he's really, you talk about what's changed on this team in the last 10 games or so. We've been playing Ryan Wade more. And his energy every day, the joy he brings to the locker room, he's just kind of a grown-up. I mean, they're kids. They don't know anything. And it's like, hey, you think this is bad, right? Like, holy cow. Try playing for 6 coaches in 6 years, right? So, I mean, you think about it, that's like learning 6 different languages. You know, what I call something, and so it just gets jumbled in your brain. And again, never complains. Always early. Always with a smile on his face. always ready to work. We had him on scout team for half the year. Right? Some of the guys go on scout team because they want more reps. He was on scout team because it was his only way to get on the court. And he was just like, I'm going to prove it to you, I deserve to play. And so he played 28, 23 on senior day. He deserved every minute of it. So proud to be his coach. And I'm sorry the fans couldn't see Ant play today. He's just not ready. That's just really comes down to. And I'm not going to be the coach that tries to win a game when a kid who has such a bright future, he'll play 15 years of professional basketball or so on one game. It's not worth it. Not worth it to me, not worth it to him, and it's not worth it to our program and what we're trying to be about. So those guys that played, they played their hearts out. We came up 3 points short.
Does that mean Anthony will likely not play Tuesday?
I don't know. Again, ball is in his court. He wanted to play today, but he just felt like he wasn't ready. He hasn't gone through a full practice. So, if he wants to play Tuesday, he has to practice Monday. It's like AAU basketball, right? If you don't practice, can't play it. But he just doesn't feel like he's ready. I think there's a lot going on emotionally he's never been hurt before in his life. So, but it's about ankle strength. And then, the thing you worry about when you have an injury like that is the atrophy in other muscles. And if you're favoring it, if you don't land correctly, something else, like the knee bone's connected to the hip bone, right? It just all is kind of connected, so you don't want to injure something else. But I think a lot of it is the mental hurdles of getting over it to play. So let's go win a game Tuesday, and the longer we play, the more likely he is to play.